So we're excited about this series of cooking with Hatch Chile. And we're going to start the series out with where our company started out, which is this product right here. When we started the company, we started this with Fresh Red Chile. We're the only company that makes fresh red chili that I'm aware of. And this recipe came from my dad. My dad actually would get heartburn when he ate red chili, but he didn't get heartburn when he ate green chili. And he started thinking about what's the difference, and the only difference he could come up with, because they're the same plant, it's the same animal as green chili, it's just right, was that we picked the green chili when it was fresh, and we picked the red chili when it was dried. And so as a family, we went out and started picking red chili when it was still crisp and fresh. And we made this beautiful sauce out of it. And that's what we made our enchiladas with since the time I was a little bitty boy. And people would come over to our house and say, "That's the best enchilada I ever had." And it was because we were making it out of fresh chili. Well, later in life, when I was in my real estate career, for Christmas, I would send out jars of this. Of course, it didn't have a label, and it was made in my kitchen. And I'm glad I didn't kill anybody, because I didn't know what I was doing. But I just canned it like my mom would can it, and sent it out to my real estate customers as a gift at Christmas, because it was from New Mexico, something that I made, something special. And so many people would call me and say, "Randy, that is the best red chili I have ever had. Tell me where it's from. Tell me where I can get it." And I would say, "Well, I made it, and it's my recipe." And they would beg for more, and literally some of them beg for more. It's a special sauce made by a special man, and I'm going to show you how we used it since I was a little boy, making the best red enchiladas from Hatch, New Mexico you will ever have. This is a very simple recipe that you can make within a half an hour and be ready for a family dinner. I'm going to go through the things you need to make it, and then we'll put it together and let you see what it looks like when it's done. First thing you need is some tortillas. I highly recommend our fresh red tortillas. They're actually made with our red enchilada sauce. But you can use any kind of corn tortilla you want. It'll be just fine. But if you can, order some of these, that'd be great. Of course, you need a jar of our fresh red chili. It doesn't say enchilada sauce, but trust me, it is. And I'll tell you, the ingredients of this is just pure fresh red chili from Hatch, a little salt and a little garlic, and a little bit of lime, and that's it. That's all that's in that jar. We're going to use a little spice blend that you can also buy on our website. I got a Hatch onion here. Any onion will do. Hatch onion is better. You'll see. And some sharp cheese. Medium sharp is fine. Even a mild cheddar is fine. And then you want some white cheese on top. It could be, this is a Mexican white cheese. You could also use Munster or even mozzarella, grated. These are probably the ugliest eggs you ever saw, and the biggest eggs you ever saw. They're duck eggs, and no, you don't have to use duck eggs, but whenever I can get them, that's what I use. Regular old chicken egg is fine, and a little bit of garlic, and those are the ingredients for these enchiladas. Unless you want to add meat, you can make these with just cheese, and they're amazing. This is all the ingredients that you need, unless you want to add meat, and meat is wonderful. If you want just a cheese enchilada, it's great. That's what my wife Carol wants all the time. Jen and I like to put a little meat on it, right? So I have over here a pound of ground lamb, and you can use, of course, ground beef would be just fine as well. I love lamb, and I go in and get lambs and have them butchered and have it in my freezer, so I many times will substitute the beef for the lamb. But those are the things you need to make this wonderful dish. So first thing we're going to do is get our cutting board back over here. By the way, you're going to need the little coleslaw for this garnish on these enchiladas. and you can go to the YouTube site and look up our coleslaw recipe, because it really makes these enchiladas wonderful. But the first thing I'm going to need to do is to cut. Look how fresh that onion cuts. Oh my gosh, I just picked these from Hatch, from our field, actually south of Hatch, a little ways. They smell so good and so sweet. Man, they're good. We do sell Hatch onions when they come out in season. Usually it's in May and June is when we can get them. Man, they slice so beautiful. I'm just chopping these up for we're going to use it two ways. We're going to use it in the enchilada fresh, and we're going to use it in the meat cooked. This knife is sharp as it can be, and this onion is so fresh that it is easy to go through. Not going to be any crying here. This onion is so sweet it wouldn't make anybody cry. And I am going to put it with the meat right there. And we're going to get that started cooking first. You don't need a lot of fresh onion. You just want to dust the tops of the enchiladas with the fresh onion. So depending on how many enchiladas you're making, that's going to be plenty. We're going to fry this meat in a nice cast iron pan. My friend Kent Evans would be very pleased about that. And nothing makes better cooked hamburger or cooked lamb than a good cast iron skillet. So we're going to cook this until it's nice and brown. The only other thing we're going to add to that is 1 or 2 cloves of garlic. I'm smash that down so the skin comes off pretty easy. I've got a little garlic smasher here that I can use. And we're going to just put that right in here as well, and so that it cooks along with that meat. I'll also add some seasonings to this. Salt and pepper, if that's what you have, is fine, but our spice blend is wonderful. And again, if you don't have this, salt and pepper is just fine. So we're going to cook this until it's brown. As that is browning, I'm going to take a jar of our Fresh Red. Now you can use our Fresh Red, and also this Matador is the same as our Fresh Red. It's just that is the varietal made the same way. We pick it fresh, we make it exactly the same way, but that's the Matador. We also have the Big Jim in a jar. The red is amazing, and we have the Machete, which is mild. This is kind of extra hot, and then we have Sandia, which is hot, and I like it pretty hot, so I'm going to use the Matador enchilada sauce, which again is the same exact thing as the Fresh Red. So, just this is the varietal that I use. I'm going to shake it up first a little bit. You can smell this lamb starting to cook and the onion. This red sauce is absolutely gorgeous. You can see how thick it is. We like to say we don't sell water. I don't want to ship you water. I don't want to sell you water. But the chili itself has some water in it. You don't want to waste this, and the sauce is always a little too thick. So I add about a third of a jar of water most of the time. Put the lid back on it. Make sure we get every bit of that red chili, Hatch Red Chile goodness out of there. You just want to bring this chili to just to start to boil, and then keep it warm. That's all we're doing. And I'm going to add a little more to get the rest of this out of there. And to thin up the sauce a little bit, because it is a little too thick. The lamb is really starting to cook. I'm going to turn it down just a little. How pretty that is. Again, if you don't like lamb, that's fine. I don't know why you wouldn't like lamb. Lamb is, oh, my favorite. But if you don't, then let's get some ground beef. A pound will make enough for 5 or 6 enchiladas, so you don't need a lot of meat for this dish. Turn that down a little bit. This red sauce is starting to bubble a little bit on the sides. I'm going to stir it a little bit. My granddaughter made these for me. Isn't that cool? She's got a wood burning thing. She took my logo and for Christmas made these for me. Uh-oh. So I made these red enchiladas, by the way, with Kent Rollins in this same kitchen one day about a year and a half ago. And if you know Kent Rollins, and if you would like to see a very funny video, go check it out. Kent Rollins. Type in Kent Rollins. Do a search for Kent Rollins and Hatch Red Enchiladas. That was a fun time and a very surprising video you'll see if you go watch it. But these enchiladas you can make casserole style if you want, but we never do here in southern New Mexico. We make them one at a time, stacked on the plate, and served fresh out of the oven. But if you had to make them for a large group of people, you could certainly get a casserole dish and make them the same way as I'll show you how we're making these, and then serve it out of the casserole dish instead of individual plates. Jeff, come on over here, girl. I want to see what you think. She's my helper. She has to get her hat on, though. She's coming. You can see these onions are starting to brown. That's important. They get a sweetness to them. What do you think, Jen?
My favorite meat.
That's your favorite meat?
Mm-hmm.
You like lamb, don't you? Yeah. And the chili, look at it. Oh my gosh, that's starting to boil.
Correct.
I'm going to turn that way down to low and let that just be there. We make these a lot, don't we?
Yep.
And we've been making them since before you were born. Since I was a little boy, my mom would make these. Really, once a week, we would have these red enchiladas. It was like a weekly meal. We're getting close here. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. You want a little brown crunch on the meat, and certainly the onions, you want them to start to caramelize. All right. Very close. You want a plate that has a little bit of a reservoir in it, because if it's just completely flat, the sauce is gonna kind of come off the sides. Yeah. And you may find some red tortillas where you live. They're usually made with a red dye and not chili. This is red because it has our Hatch Chile in it. Our tortilla maker makes the tortillas. Normally you put water, and instead of the liquid that he uses our red chili as part of the liquid, and it comes out so good. He makes a green and a red for us, and then we sell them on the website as well to you if you're interested. This sauce is just getting perfect. And these tortillas are going to heat up. Want them to heat up and get just a little bit of a toughness to them. But they will soften up as soon as I put the chili back on them. You can see the meat starting to brown up there, the onion, beautiful. Okay. Turn that way down. The tortillas are starting to curl just a little bit here. Turn them. You want it on a pretty high heat so you don't take too long. I'll flip them over. All right, we're ready to roll. This red, beautiful red sauce. And again, the only thing in this red sauce is Hatch Red Chile, picked fresh from the field. We take it and we boil it to make it a little bit supple. We run it through a blender and a colander, and it comes out this gorgeous sauce. Put a little bit of garlic and a little salt. That's all that's in it. If you want to see how it's made, I would refer you again to the Kent Rollins video. We made it from scratch with fresh red chilies, but it's a whole lot easier just to either buy the Matador or the Fresh Red, and all of that work's done for you. But if you want to see how it's made, that video we made it together from scratch. We actually went to the farm that day and picked the red chilies, and came home and made a mess of the kitchen. That's all I'm going to tell you, so I don't ruin that video for you. So the first thing we're going to do is put some chili in the plate. I take this beautiful sauce, put it down, like that. And then I'm going to dust it in the plate. A little bit of onion, not much. And then my first tortilla. And you can see how it's kind of turning a little bit. You don't want to cook them any more than that. I've turned it off. So I put that right there. I'll cover that tortilla. It's going to soften up with that sauce. I'm going to put a layer of lamb or hamburger, whatever you choose to use. And if you just want it just cheese, just leave out the lamb or the hamburger. Another layer of cheese. Do buy a very good quality cheese. Don't buy a cheap cheese if you're going to go to the trouble of making these beautiful enchiladas. Lucerne makes a very good quality cheese. Kraft. Tillamook is my favorite. And so we're going to make that. We made one layer, so I'm going to put a little more sauce around that cheese. Beautiful. Hatch Red Enchiladas. Now, when I was a young man, my mom would make me these with 4 layers, 4 tortillas. They're about 4 inches high by the time she got done. A little bit of onion. Not too much. None at all if you don't like onion. And I'm going to make this a 3. Usually today I eat 2. But I want to show you what it looks like for 3 tortillas. The red sauce is so pretty. Beautiful. So on the top is where I like to use the white cheese. And the reason for that is because I like the flavor, but I also am going to put this in under the broiler, and that white cheese is going to caramelize and turn kind of a brown, caramely cheesy, and it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to put a little more sauce around the top of that cheese just to make it beautiful. We're going to go in here under the broiler. We're pretty close to the broiler, but not too close. For a few minutes, don't leave it in too long, and then we're going to take it out. It's going to be bubbling and brown, and then we're going to take 2 of our ugly duckling duck eggs. I know these look terrible, but they're duck eggs from the farm, not too far away from here, and I'm going to cook 2 of them on the griddle, and they go on right on top right before you serve it. Break my eggs into a bowl first, especially duck eggs. They're kind of hard to break. Look how big the yellows are. They're beautiful. Let that melt real quick. A little salt on my butter. There we go. We're going to cook these either sunny side up or over easy. So this is ready to go. You can see the cheese is bubbling and a little bit brown. You're going to want a charger here. You're going to want to take these eggs off when they're still got some runny yellow in them, like that. Just like that. Oh. Put a little bit of our seasoning on top. And this bad boy is ready to plate, but it needs a little bit of, there you go. And wow, if you're like me, you can't quite get enough of Hatch Chile. Our Hatch Fresh Red Enchilada. The way my dad made it since I was a little bitty boy. And we have made it week after week the same way with the same product. And it doesn't get any better. You want to taste it, Jenna?
Oh, you did.
Let me taste it first. She knows I made this with the Matador. And she's a little afraid it might be a little too hot, but isn't it beautiful? You want to get a little coleslaw with each bite if you can. That vinegar just sets it off so pretty. Hatch Red Chile lamb enchiladas. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're so good. If Ken Rollins was here, he'd be dancing, Jenna.
I remember that. I do. I do.
You do, and you danced with him. You did good. Way to go. Try this recipe, you're going to love it. You'll never have anything like it because it's made with Hatch Fresh Red Chile. No other company makes it except the Fresh Chile Company. And I'll tell you why they don't make it. They don't make it because it's hard to make. We can only make this product about 5 weeks out of the year. The chili has to be from Hatch. It has to be red, which means ripe. And that only happens about 4 or 5 weeks out of the year. And that's when we have to pick it and make it. And we make it non-stop for that period of time. We almost always run out of this product before the next year. So, highly recommend you get it and stock it up and keep it in your pantry because you're going to want to make these very often. Oh. Wow. Nicely done, Jim. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and eat more chili. Make sure it's from the 575 area code where Hatch, New Mexico makes the best chili in the world.